Hey, Grace, you've better know what you've done. What kind of nerve do you have to abandon your duty as a wife and cause trouble for William? You're a terrible wife. I'm gonna give you some lessons. Well, Mother, I have my reason for leaving. It doesn't matter. We're going to move into a new nice apartment. If you want to come living with us, I'll tell you where the new place is. I'm sure my mother-in-law still doesn't know anything. Well, it's a good chance for me that she knows nothing. No. Thank you. What? My name is Grace. I'm a 35-year-old office lady. My husband William and I have been married for 5 years. He's now 40, 5 years older than me. I used to go out with older guys, but I was attracted to him because he was generous and kind. And our relationship went well, so we got married. Our marriage was sort of satisfying. But a few months later, a shadow began to appear over our peaceful life. I got fired. William was suddenly laid off. The reason was the company's business condition had worsened due to the recession. I had never imagined that William would be let off because he worked for a big company. I thought that we would be able to live without worrying about money, and this will continue to our late life. But it seems that nothing is certain in this world. We became stressfully poor. I was a housewife, but I decided to start work right away. I contacted the company I had left before I got married. Luckily, they agreed to hire me. Apparently, there was an employee who had just left the company to have a baby. I was relieved to know that at least we had another income. If William could find a new job, we would be fine. But it's not easy for a middle-aged man to find a new job. William had no choice but to work part-time as a day laborer. His salary averaged about $700 a month. Someone like me getting back to work should expect that the salary won't be too high. We're barely making ends meet. Hey, the rent here is too high. Can't we move out? I think it's better to find a cheaper place and save money. To make our life easier, we need to lower our fixed costs. Up until now, William had high income and we worried nothing about money. We've been living in a nice apartment, but I think we should take a hard look at the reality and move into an apartment that costs less. But my idea was rejected firmly. No, we're not moving out there. Why not? If we move to a smaller, cheaper apartment, Mom will ask me why. So what? Why don't you just tell her the truth? We're having a hard time making ends meet because you don't have a job now. When I said that, he turned red and raised his voice. Don't ever tell my mother I'm unemployed. Your salary and my earnings are enough to pay the rent. Let's just leave it at that. I was surprised and confused at the same time. You care more about your pride and your house than you do about protecting your marital life? Even if we could afford the rent, we still have a hard time making ends meet. That's why I came up with this idea, because we couldn't save any money at all. But William insisted and didn't give in. I had no choice but to give up for once. After that, life continued to be difficult. Especially one day, William made an unbelievable comment to me. Hey, this is all we have for dinner today? You used to have a lot more dishes. Just because you started working doesn't mean you don't have to do your duty. Don't be lazy to manage this. William's words made me angry, so I retorted. I have no choice. We're struggling to make ends meet. I'm doing my best at home and at work. It's because someone's unnecessarily proud that wanting to live here makes me no choice but cut the food expenses. Or you could just make more money than everything will be just what you want. When I make provocative remarks, William said, What the hell? Don't you dare say this to me. Just wait and see. I'll get another job at good company and make more money than you. William got angry. I thought I was enough to bear him like this, but if this sparkles William's motivation that I could endure, I convinced myself that it was fine. However, he was unable to find a new job in the first place, so he had to work part-time as a day laborer. Now that even he was motivated, he could not find a new job. I could understand if he had done a lot of studies and got a qualification, but he didn't do that. He just worked part-time. William was rejected by the interviewer for every interview, and he got tired of having to bow down to the interviewer who was younger than him. So he stopped looking for a job. He still believed that he could earn more money than me. But I was disappointed to him and already gave up. Besides, it's not just William that I'm worried about. Mention to this, I received another phone call earlier today. It was my mother-in-law, calling without hesitation in spite of the fact that I was at work. Just this morning, there were more than 10 calls left. When I returned the call during my lunch break, my mother-in-law's voice was high-pitched from the very first word. Why didn't you answer the phone right away? I told you the other day that I'm at work, didn't I? Come on! You call that working? My calls are the first priority. My mother-in-law lost her husband a year ago, and since then, she'd kept calling me a lot. I thought she must have been very lonely, so that I should support her. But all she says was something like, it's your duty to support husband, etc. And knowing that I recently started working, she got so angry, kept calling me when I'm in work. Did you talk about that with William properly? You can't even reply my phone call. I'm sorry. It's difficult for us to live with you now. I'm not asking for your opinion. William won't object to it. No, William says it's still too difficult. Besides, we're having some financial issues. How can it be financial issues? William works for a big company. They pay him well, so you two are rich, right? I'm always at a loss for words when she says things like that. William has asked me not to tell my mother-in-law about the truth very insistently, so I can't tell her the truth. And then my mother-in-law says that I'm selfish to go working. And she thinks I'm lying about how hard it is to make ends meet. Well, I guess. My mother-in-law's phone calls are so annoying, not only when I'm at work, but also when I'm home at night. Most of the time, a wife's first priority should be to support her husband, and the way taking care of your husband means you should take care of his mother as well. You haven't come to see me at all lately. What's the matter of you? I work a full-time job and I'm exhausted. And William's doing part-time job on weekends. That's why our holidays don't match. I'm sorry. We're both so busy. It's hard to fit it into our schedules. I don't care about your schedule. Besides, William's off on weekends. You can come on weekends, right? My mother-in-law must be very frustrated and upset for a while and kept on talking like that. I thought it was time for me to give up. I tried to tell her the truth about William. No, William works on weekend. What do you mean? As a matter of fact, when I was about to tell her the truth, William, who was lying on the sofa watching TV, ran up to me and took my phone. Mom, I'm sorry that I haven't been able to visit you lately. I'm working on a big project right now, and I've been working on weekends as well. I'll come visit you when I get settled. With that, he handed up the phone and headed back to me. What were you doing? What were you doing? Were you trying to tell my mom? That's just tell the truth. If you keep this up, she keeps saying things to me because she knows nothing. I'm sorry to hear that, but don't tell my mom that. That's enough. Just keep up your pride and tell her the truth. Shut up. I'm the one make you survive, so thank me instead of talking back to me. Saying this, he went back to his room. I'm literally on the edge of collapse. I can't solve the financial problem. My husband and his mother had been pushing me so hard to the corner. It's enough. William says his day job is too much work and he doesn't do housework. But his job wasn't full-time. He works on weekends and once a week during the week. He is at the meridian of life. I'm sure he is capable to do something to increase the income, or at least learn to do some housework and take the lead on the chores. How come you do nothing at all at home, but ask me to do all the chores and other work? I'm enough to all his complaints and doing nothing, so I decided to leave home for a while. I decided to go back to my parents' place for a week to show William how hard the housework is. I had told my parents the detail of the current situation of us, and they told me that I should just get a divorce as soon as possible. But we were in love and then got married, and we had been married for 5 years. I didn't want to go through with the divorce so easily. If I was going to get a divorce, I was going to do everything I could to make this better. And if that didn't work, I would divorce him. When I went back to my parents' place, I got a phone call from William. When are you coming home? Where's my meal? I won't be home for a while, so you have to do all the housework while I'm gone. Don't be silly, just come home and do the chores. No, I won't. You know how hard it is to do the housework. You can clean the house, you do the laundry, you cook, you do everything yourself. It's important for you to understand how hard it is for me to do all the housework while I'm working. I said that and hung up. William kept calling, but I ignored them at all. Life at home was very comfortable for the first time in a long time. I could share the housework with my father and mother. My mother would say, "You must be tired," and serve us many home-cooked meals. I really appreciate that fact that I didn't have to do anything and the food came out automatically. And I spent about a week at my parents' house. Thought I already wanted to spend a little longer, but my parents' house is quite far from my office. It takes me an hour and a half each way to commute there, so it's not easy. I thought it was about time William understood how hard housework is. Then I finally came back to our home. I was worried that the house might be a dump, but then I realized the house was cleaner than I had expected. But here I felt something strange. No way, I thought. I went to see William's room. Clothes and suitcases in the closet were gone. I thought to myself, he must have gone to his mother, so I called him. What are you calling me now? Where are you? I'm at my parents' house. You didn't go to your parents' house right after I left, did you? That's right. What are you doing? That doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't have left in the first place. I'm already upset. I'm not going back to that house. What do you mean? I'm going to live with my mom. I'm going back to my parents' house. Oh, and I'm not just going back. We're moving into a new apartment. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was at a loss for words when the voice on the phone changed. Hey, Grace. Do you have any idea what you've done? What kind of nerve do you have to abandon your duty as a wife and cause trouble for William? You're such a terrible wife. I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Well, Mother, I have my reason for leaving. It doesn't matter. We're going to move into a new nice apartment. If you want to come living with us, I'll tell you where the new place is. I'm sure my mother-in-law still doesn't know anything. Well, it's a good chance for me that she knows nothing. No. Thank you. What? I said no right away, so my mother-in-law was completely shocked. I'm saying that I'm not going. Oh, are you serious? If William is going to live with me, unless you come over here, you have to be alone. You can't live alone, can you? You've been relying on him. Don't worry, I earn enough to live on my own. If we don't live together, there's no need for us to be a couple. So I'm divorcing him. What? It might because I said the word divorce. I heard my mother-in-law and husband's surprised voice over the phone. Wait a minute, Grace. There's no need to mention divorce. I can't stay married to you anymore. I need to get rid of a horrible husband like you as soon as possible. When I gave him such a comment, my mother-in-law snapped. Hey, how dare you talk to William like that? We don't want a life like you either. So, yeah, okay, William, just get a divorce. No. I'll get divorce papers ready. What a bitch. I'll make you feel regret about this. And it's too late for apology. Same to you. When I said that, the phone were disconnected. My mother-in-law and her son will probably be here with the divorce papers. Thank God things are going the way I want them to. I'm thankful that William was not willing to improve at all and went back to his mother's place. That makes me easy to make up my mind. He is not going to change himself. Then there's no need for us to stay together. I decided to pack my bags waiting my mother-in-law's arrived. A few hours later, my mother-in-law came along. Oh, William isn't here? He doesn't have to show up. Here you go. I already had him fill out his own section. You fill out yours as soon as possible. She handed me the divorce papers saying that. Somehow I think the words in William's column are written in trembling letters. My William is such a wonderful man. Even though with a horrible wife like you, he's unreluctant to get a divorce. I'll never forgive you for causing trouble for such a wonderful person. I hope you live a poor life and regret it. While I was filling out with my part of the form, my mother-in-law didn't give up yelling at me. William's pride got in the way until the end. He couldn't tell his mother the truth. What a pathetic man he is. What happened to your house? I sold it. So if you want to come over, there's no place for you. No, I won't. How much did you get for it? It was old, so it must have been cheap. That's none of your business. But I'm telling you because I'm a good person. It was about $50,000. Not much, but it's enough for retirement life. William will pay for our new apartment. Whoa, so surprised you got approved. What are you talking about? William is a high-class person. It's a matter of course. So you put the money in William's account? How did you know that? That's not important. Stop asking this and that. Just a divorced woman. So obvious that you're still into him. But that's too late. Don't worry. I've already agreed to the divorce. I'll file the divorce papers. When I said that, my mother-in-law sniffed and laughed. I was overjoyed to be free from her and her son. I packed up the rest of my belongings and moved them to my parents' house. And I found and signed a contract for a single person's apartment when I would leave. By the way, I successfully provoked my mother-in-law, so I was able to get rid of the property. There's no way to give you William's property. Get used to it. I still remember how the pale face of William when we were discussing about the division of property, which is funny to me even now. Then one day, about 2 years later, I received a call from an unknown number. Who could it be in the morning before work? I thought it might be the work-related call. I picked up the phone and, to my surprise, it was my ex-mother-in-law. Oh my good grace, please help me. Mother, you can't keep calling me like this. We're strangers now. Don't say that. I'm in trouble. Huh. You can't pay the rent and the savings are running low? How do you know that? He didn't tell you about the financial problem until you guys got broke, did he? Oh, you knew it. I knew it and tried to tell you many times, but every time I tried, William told me not to. I didn't realize that. I'm so sorry, Grace. I didn't note anything. I apologize, but please come back. I don't want to. He wouldn't change who he was, no matter how much I tried, and even you were always bullied me. I don't want to spend time with someone like you ever again. Please don't say that. I don't have anything to eat anymore. I'm really dying. According to my ex-mother-in-law, William has been trying to look good, and since then, he didn't tell her about the financial problem. He paid his rent out of the $50,000 that his mother had sold the family home for, and his mother would get suspicious if he didn't show his extravagance every once in a while. So he spent a lot of money on expensive groceries and fancy meals because he was living like that. He lost his $50,000 in no time, and now he's penniless. He got what he deserved, isn't he? Why don't you put away your pride and live modestly in a cheap apartment? No, you wasn't supposed to be like this. I was supposed to live a comfortable life with my elite son. My ex-mother-in-law cried like that. I quietly hung up the phone and blocked all the incoming calls. I also put a restraining order against her just in case I had to call the police. All they think about is leaning on someone else. Parents or children are so alike. I'm going to take a lesson from them. I'm trying to live independently. With that in mind, I got myself back on track, decided to focus on my own life. Keeping the truth out of sight. The husband who continues to live a life not balanced of his status, and the mother-in-law who blames only on her daughter-in-law without questioning her son. So happy that Grace could cut off such a terrible mother and son. I'm sure that she will be able to lead an independent life. I hope she can meet a wonderful man in the future. Let's wish her a happy life from now on. Thank you for watching till the end. Please subscribe to our channel if you like. See you in the next video.